Welcome everybody to Accelerator 2024. Happy New Year. We have a very busy show today, so stay focused, please. I will not sound very excited because I'm a little sick today, but I have very important information for you, some very important tactics. So try to stay focused, and because I don't have many slides, but I have a lot to talk about. All right, let's first see quickly the news. Apparently TikTok will be soon broadcasting using a Google device, so you'll be able to see TikTok videos on your TV. I'm wondering where this is going. So if you heard about GPTs, now we have a GPT store. You can create your own GPTs and you can share them with the others, or you can use GPTs that other people are used. The way this works is basically you combine some information. Let's say you're a company and you have some proprietary data, and you can upload these documents and basically train a GPT with your data, and then you can use a prompt to create these GPTs and use them. So for example, you can upload like some PDFs or Excel files and whatever, and then others will be able to use this trained bot based on that data that you have uploaded. You have probably seen in the app these tappable metrics that Amazon finally introduced. Then we have the new document types that needs to be updated by January 1st. You have seen this in the news probably. And priority mail got cheaper from pirate ship, for example, USPS, this is second time in a row for the last few months that they lower the prices, which is good news. Not everybody is lowering the prices these days. And Amazon has a free AI course. If you're interested in learning AI stuff, search for this one. On Upwork, we have this new identity verification process that is running right now, which is very, very annoying. And they randomly select people to upload, basically have to upload an ID and a selfie. So this is to ensure, apparently some new Patriot Act in the US is obliging them to do this. Luckily, I was very quick because they say here that you have to wait like for 7 days at least, because they're very busy with this process. But I got it very quickly, prepared all that, basically two photos of my driver's license and one selfie, and I opened the ticket and I directly uploaded these 3 images to the ticket, and the same day I got unlocked. Before that, before you submit the ticket, make sure that all of your information is correct, that your photo is actual your photo, is not someone else. Because me, for example, I didn't hit my real name and I didn't hit my real photo on my account, so I had to change this first, and then I uploaded my proof of identity, and then I got lucky. The same day I got unlocked, so I was able to hire people that same day. This is how I discovered this, by the way, because I was hiring someone on Upwork, and when I tried to hire them, I received this error that I'm under review. On Alibaba, we have this industry leaderboards. Maybe you have noticed them. When you scroll in the results, you see number whatever in the specific category, and I find it this very high quality. They have a very good vetting process. if you click on any of these, and then you go to the industry leaderboard, you will see a lot of interesting stuff. Like me personally, I went through this, and I find that very well curated suppliers with very high quality products are in this leaderboard, and I was able to find some interesting products this way. So I liked it very much how they've done it. Like somehow they selected the highest quality, at least listings on Alibaba. So it could be a good way to select products. We have a new flat files also in Seller Central. Flat files, the templates have been updated, and this is what they look like right now. It's a little bit more clear than before. It's still very chaotic, but less attributes and a little bit better interface, let's say. Yeah, we still have a lot to do, but it's a little improvement. I like it. Then you know that I've been using, what was the name of that one? Joint Brands. Sorry, escaped from my mind. So jointbrands.com, they introduced several monthly option plans, payment plans, which I find it's very reasonable. Instead of before you had to pay upfront for a specific number of influencers, now you can go month by month, and you can see, for example, here that for $99 you have, how many do they have? Unlimited campaigns, unlimited creators. So before I was paying $20 per video when I get a discount. In reality, it's $40 per video. So but I'm not sure if this is actually, if you still pay per video, or it's how this works. I just noticed that they have these plans. I wanted to share with you, but I have to check. Something doesn't, I just realized that something sounds fishy here. All right, I'll check that later, let you know. All right, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about my Involve Me surveys, because I had very good results. Like if you have followed me for a while, you know that I've done in the past a lot of these surveys when I'm researching a product, for example. And on the last 2-3 videos, I think, I mentioned that almost nobody is doing this to survey visitors on your Shopify, for example, so that you can understand why they're on the website, what they're looking for, what are the problems that they see, for example. Basically any feedback that could be valuable for your company or business. And you have to, the way I have done this is to incentivize them with a coupon code of $20 off, and basically they answer a few questions for me. So the questions were, if you remember, how did they found the website, and then I ask a little bit about the bundles that I sell, because I wanted to know if my assumptions of the bundles that I sell are actually right. And I had a very good experience with these surveys. Like this is an example from one of my websites, for example. You can see to date I got 440 responses, and personal data is where they enter name and email, because this is optional. I don't require it for them to fill in the survey, but then it is the last question. I just put it there. Like if you want to put your personal information so that we can match you with your order, for example. Input it here. So you can see like half of these people, without being forced to do so, they input the information, which is good. These people will be trusted, these are your friends. So you can see here what is happening right now in this survey. I have about 6% completion rate. It takes about 5 minutes to complete the survey, which is very long. I was aiming something at 1 minute. These are 10 questions that I have right now on this specific survey. And so 330 completed the submissions, basically went to the end so that they can get the coupon code, and 114 dropped somewhere in the middle. And they didn't basically get the coupon code. So I wanted to talk to you about my findings and what I tweaked and how I changed the whole thing so that it works better. Let's start with the problem with when I was using Involve. So Involve basically offers you a few different options how you can show the survey. And initially I started with a pop-up window, right? So this option here, or side tab option, or this one, they all appear like a pop-up. And only one person complained that the pop-up is annoying. But the reason why I removed the pop-up was mainly for Google speed and for the conversion, right? Because Google doesn't like if your pop-up appears, I think it was 30 seconds or 35 seconds. So the pop-up gave great results, right? The conversion of almost 100% of people that landed on the homepage, they have seen that offer that they can get $20 off, right? But it was annoying to people. I'm sure only one complained, but I'm sure that it was annoying. And then it somehow, I figured that it could affect also Google, right? So the first step I've done is from the 10 seconds, which is the default time that this pop-up appears, I increased it to 35 seconds so that I can lower that Google speed, not speed, but conversion like penalty. This somehow worked, but then I wanted to try something else. I decided I'm gonna move this to a separate full page. So I chose this option here. So I moved the whole survey to a full page, and I placed the link to this page in the main menu of the website. And instantly, I've seen that the conversions are going up. Like visitors coming to the website are purchasing more, like the conversions. The ratio between visitors and orders was increasing. For the Google speed, I didn't see any difference. It was not affecting the score, but it was affecting the conversions big time. But then the submissions start dropping. Like people don't notice the link that they can save $20. So the final solution that I found that is kind of like a middle ground was I made the link to that survey in bold, and I placed it in a way in the menu so that it's more visible. So now I have 50-60% of visitors that actually notice this menu. So it's not annoying, it's not on the way, it's optional pretty much. If they wanna see it, they will get it, and I can see that 50-60% of these people actually see it and they complete the survey, and then they get a coupon code. So now, because I already have close to 500 responses here, I have a pretty good understanding of what they want. During this process, I was constantly revising the questions and the wording that I'm using. And when I notice, for example, a question that is not receiving a lot of responses, I would remove it and I will replace it with something else. And this gave me a very good information for the future. So how I can change my offer, how I can change the product, what bundles I should make, and so on. Great. Like this has been fantastic. So to the point that I purchased the Involve Me annual subscription, and I'm letting this to run. And I think very important, like if you're doing something like that, just to give you that information, because it took me a while to figure out exactly what works best. And I just wanted to share that with you. So I think that was the middle ground that I found was perfect. Like that. So the other day I purchased this Luna displays, like an adapter, so that you can share. So I can share my laptop on my iMac. And when I completed the purchase, I've seen this here, which intrigued me, where it was kind of related to what I'm doing, but it was like a post-purchase survey. And basically they do like a form that you can do, and then you have like additional questions and stuff that you can place here. So this is basically optimizing your checkout page with these things. And it's called fairing.co, but it's like $100 a month versus Involve Me is $100 a year, the subscription. So it's pretty much the same thing, but this is just like a post purchase survey. While for me it was more important to see before, like instantly when they land, I wanted to see like where are you coming from? That was my first question. That was the most important thing, is like I wanted to know, where are you coming from? Is it like an article? Like, yeah, we have analytics and stuff like that. You can look at these analytics. But it's not always obvious, because sometimes they find information, they learn about your brand, and then they type the brand on Google, and now they land on your website. So in the analytics, you don't see that journey, right? You just see that they're coming from Google search and they search the brand. But how do they really found out about your company? That was my question. And this survey allowed me to answer a lot of that. And you will see that when you have that information in the strategies that we'll look after, you'll see that when you have that information, it will help you a lot to optimize whatever you're doing, and basically to focus on more of what's converting. All right, so let's look at some of the strategies that I have for you today. The first strategy is to register the Chinese CN and .cn domain names. And the reason is there's like a surge of all kinds of blackmail and hacking and spamming and stuff like that by Chinese company that register brand names with these domains, and they do all kinds of shady tactics with this information. Big companies like Dyson, for example, or Brita, and actually a lot of also companies that are on Amazon that are becoming more successful, they always register a Chinese domain name. And sometimes they offer, for example, complete websites on a specific language, like for example, it could be on Chinese. Or it could be just redirecting to the main company, like Organica, for example, is doing. Or you can have it just registered, but it doesn't go anywhere, right? So it depends, of course, on the product, but it's a good strategy to have to prevent this stuff. And it's, if you think about it, it's only like $10-20 a year, right, to save you from all this trouble. So if you have the trademark in China, they will probably even not dare to register the domain name. But just to be sure, even if you have the trademark in China, like I have, for example, I will still register my brands. I'll purchase the domain names just to make sure that while I'm growing, I'm not getting any trouble. There is a little downside to this, as anything in life, that Chinese, they don't offer private registration. Like you will not be able to hide your data. It's a requirement for them to prove the identity of the person that is registering the domain name. But if this is not something that troubles you, you should definitely do it. Plus, when I start doing the WHOIS search for a lot of companies, you don't see much. Like, it's not as extensive information as our, like, the American information. So if you're looking for a cheaper way than GoDaddy, for example, GoDaddy is about, like, I think it's like $10-12 per year for the China domain names. I found this one, Dynadot, which is $5 a year for .cn and .com.cn. So it will, for the two domain names, you end up with $10 a year. So I think it's very reasonable to have this and to prevent like all the bullshit that can happen. All right, strategy number 2. If you're selling something that is a little bit more expensive, this will be a good strategy for you, because it's proven that these people are looking for a little bit more expensive project. They always look for a coupon code online so they can save some money. And one of the most popular websites that deal with the coupon codes is hotdeals.com, that everybody knows about this website. And but what probably not many people know about is that they have an advertising plan where you can basically advertise your coupon under your competitors, for example, or you can have it directly on the homepage. Like, they have many different options. Organically also, if you're not on hotdeals.com, think twice, because this is a popular website and it ranks great on Google, and everybody who looks for product name, space, coupon code, or a deal or something like that will eventually land on hotdeals.com. So look at the advertising plans and see if this is a good fit for you. Look for your competitors on hotdeals.com, see what they're doing in there. Basically, see Google, like type competitor's name, coupon code, see what your competitors, where competitors are posting coupon codes and stuff like that, because there is a lot of traffic from this that you can take advantage of. All right, and the strategy number 3 that I have for you today is Microsoft Advertising. Microsoft Advertising is getting very, very good. It's very advanced. They use AI a lot. So they also have an app in the App Store that you can download so that you can manage your apps. And they have many different types of advertising. And they have many platforms, as you know, that they advertise to. So, for example, Bing, they have DuckDuckGo. They have Yahoo. Where else? Like, they have a few of these places that are getting very popular. For example, I noticed in my Shopify stores that a lot of sessions coming from DuckDuckGo and from Bing, and I was like, I had the impression that DuckDuckGo is like a separate, independent, privacy-based company and whatever. It happened that I learned that basically they were purchased by Microsoft. Now you can with Microsoft Ads, you can advertise in this platform, and many people are, like myself recently, are not aware that this is a Microsoft app. A lot of them use the browser because they think they're safe this way, and it's getting a lot of good traffic, and it's very easy to rank. And even if it gives you 1% increase of revenue, why not? It's almost free money. So I'm very happy with this. I opened the Microsoft advertising. You need to pass a verification process. You have to verify your domain name. So you have a little bit of work, like technical work, but it's not the end of the world. The system and the platform, the advertising console, is very good. You have AI, you have smart ads, what they call, which is basically AI that takes control of everything, and you have like very little to do, very easy to start. And if you like, you can switch to an advanced mode where you can have like a manual and full control of all the settings, and then you can start like narrowing down the audiences, narrowing down, like playing with keywords, focusing only on Bing or DuckDuckGo if you like, and so on. I'm telling you, it's very good results-wise as well. Not only is the platform talking about the results that you can get from this are very good. All right, so now the strategy of the month, maybe of the year even. I discovered this kind of by accident and a little bit by research, but it's something that you have to know. So, you know that Google recently made a lot of changes in their algorithm, and it's basically all about the authority and the trust in the product. And I've done like many videos already, if you remember, about this. I showed you exactly what they say about it, how they do it, what is their opinion on AI written content, and so on. So in a nutshell, they want to have something like they browse the website and they want to see, can I trust this website? So for example, if you've seen recently, a lot of these affiliate websites that were so annoying, they're now gone. I did a video last year about this. There were hundreds and hundreds of affiliate websites on page 1 when you search for the best product name that are now gone. And this is fantastic because now my website is on page 1 on Google for many of the main keyword terms. And before I was invisible because I was behind all these affiliate websites that had hundreds, maybe thousands of links pointing to them. They had like a lot of content and stuff like that, but they had no authority. The depth of the articles and the reviews, whatever they're doing on this stuff of these products were lacking. Now they're behind, like you can't even see them on the first 10 pages, which is fantastic news. But today I wanted to talk to you about certifications, because I found that this is one simple way to demonstrate authority to Google so they can trust your website more. And I discovered this I had some intuition about it, but it was mostly accident, I have to admit, because I was searching for one of my competitors and this website pops up always on the first page. And I was like, how the hell do they do this? It's like always number one. And I start looking on their website, and uh, I read many times the updated stuff from Google, right? So I had it in my mind, the whole authority stuff, but I didn't really realize how I can take advantage of that. But when I start looking in this website, I notice they had a dedicated page on certificates. So they had a bunch of certificates from different companies that basically, like electrical certifications or high, like product quality certifications, all kinds of stuff like that are not very really important, but they just, to gain trust for customers, they created this page where they show all these certificates, kind of like what you see on Alibaba, right? On Alibaba, almost every listing has in their listings screenshots of the certificates, right? So they can show that these are like real businesses, that these products are tested, and so on. So they kind of had like something like that. And I was curious. I was like, oh, certificates. That's very interesting. So I wanted to see how they named the file names. Something that I always do, for SEO purposes. I just always curious. So I right-click inspect just to see how these images, these screenshots are named. And I was like shocked. They had on that page about 17 times, if I remember correctly, it was 17 times the word certificate. Like they had certificate or certification and similar words like that in the meta tags, in the file names of the screenshot, the screen, whatever, the file names, in the titles, like everywhere it was all about certifications. And I was like, okay, that's very interesting. Like, yeah, I went looking for the next results on Google, and I couldn't see that anywhere else. Like, this was the only one that was always number one on Google. I was like, okay, this is something that I need to test. So I couldn't get, of course, that many certificates fast. So I was thinking, what should I do? What can I do next similar that is not certifications, but it's still the same principle, like the same authority that I can give Google? And I created a page which basically offers like something similar, and I started doing the same thing. Meta tags, file names, everything talks about certifications. From that moment, few days after, I guess this has been indexed, things change completely for that website. Completely. We're talking going to the middle of page one on Google and getting tons and tons of traffic. Basically, in the last month, this website completely exploded in traffic and in sales and in conversions and in everything. Like, completely changed the outcome of the business. And I strongly believe that this was what made it, that this successful, because I don't see anything else happening. It's just Google pushing this website. Like, I haven't created, like, I constantly create articles and stuff like that and point to that, but I don't see, when I look at the analytics, I don't see any other reason why all of a sudden this website will go that crazy on the first page on Google. And we're talking most of these search terms and stuff like that. So until I replicate that a second time, of course, I cannot be 100% sure, but my gut feeling is that this authority thing, it really works. Not many people are doing it. The people that are doing it they're all on page one. This is what I see. I just wanted to share this with you and give it a try. It will depend on what kind of product you have, of course. What is the way that you can show basically Google that you're like a serious business and you have done the work and you really know about this business. This is what they want. I've seen other people doing a dedicated page where they have the board members of the company, for example, and then they have photos of the people, and then they have the LinkedIn, like link to the LinkedIn information. Then they have the profession and the experience of all these people that are in the company board. So that's another way of showing authority to Google, right? There are many ways, but you see the principle, the basic is that how should I know that I can trust you? If it's just one brand name, brand page, and shows product and it, uses all kinds of fantastic words that were the best and stuff like that, Google doesn't really know. How can I trust you? Show me proof that this is really the best product. Like, who made this product? How is it made? Where is it made? So another thing that successful products like that do is they have a research and development page where they show how they work on technologies and stuff like that. So some of this could be used for Amazon products on your Shopify store. So think about a way how you can implement that and let me know, because this is like, I'm telling you, this one thing is huge. And if it's exactly what I'm seeing, if it's that, because I don't have 100% proof, but I feel that this is it. This is huge, because I'm telling you, this is we're talking a lot of money here difference that happened in the last month just because of that authority. And the more I pay attention to competitors, the more I see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let's move to content building now, which is another cool strategy that works great. So it could be like a strategy number 4 even. So we're using AI to write the articles, right? It's all about the proper prompting, give enough information and stuff like that. But I found even better. Like, so for example, SEO Surf, what was the other one? These services became very expensive. Some of them I just find too confusing, the interface. I forget what was the name of the other one, but it was like close to $1,000 a year to use. So I dropped it. But the idea here is that we write an article which is keyword rich and stuff like that. And you can use SEO optimization in the prompt and stuff like that. But I found this one, Neuron Writer, which is kind of like a replacement of SEO Surf. It's doing exactly the same thing. Kind of like reminds me of the interface. And I purchased this on AppSumo. Lifetime, what is it called? Like lifetimes. It's not a subscription, but it's like access. And it helps a lot with your content writing, because when you write with that, I'll show you what it looks like. But before I show you that, I just wanted to give you the overall picture of the tactic. The tactic is basically using Medium, because it's a domain authority, right? It ranks very well on Google. When you have a very well written article on it, like you have to have these two conditions. Medium ranks very well, but you have to have a good content on it so that it ranks, right? And this is how you do it. You just need Neuron Writer or a similar service. I'm not promoting this. I don't know anything about them. Like, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just purchased it because it was on AppSumo and it was fairly cheap from what I was paying before, and allows you to optimize your articles, and I'll show you how, so that you can rank medium articles on Google. And this works great. So look how it works. This is, for example, one of the stories on Medium. You can see here an average 150 to 100 views, and then doubled when I start using this strategy. So this is what it looks like. This is Neuron Writer. You can see the same interface as SEO Surf, pretty much. You give it a keyword, the content writer query. You give a general keyword. Then they do a research on Google for that keyword, and then they show you the best ranking contents and the URL, right? You have the page title here. You have how the length of the words and the content score that they calculate and how it ranks on Google. So you pick few of these competitors. They see this as competitors, right? So of course you can uncheck Wikipedia or whatever. You select, like you can uncheck Amazon, for example, but you select the competitors that you want to compete with, like for example, like websites or brands and stuff like this. And when you click next, here on the top after, they will go and get, with AI, they will get all the information from their home pages and product pages and stuff like that. And they will try to understand the density of the words and which phrases and stuff like that they used on that article, so that when you start typing here, when you start writing your article, or if you have an article that is already written, you can just copy and paste it here, and it will show you which keywords you have to optimize it for, so that you can rank better than the others. So you will see here the competitor. This graph here will show you, so you can see the best one is 84. So your aim is to go to 85. Okay, let's talk a little bit about algorithms, my favorite topic, and specifically the algorithms on Pinterest. So I found this paper on Medium, where Pinterest has an account and they're posting scientific papers and stuff like that. And it clearly talks about the way that they use ranking, how they do ranking on Pinterest. So for example, you can see in this paragraph that it says that engagement is a multi-objective. There are long clicks, close-ups, and repins. Okay, so close-ups are basically when you find a pin and then you tap on it and it will expand to take the whole screen so that you can see it better. And this is how usually they track. This is what we know, that this is one of the tracking mechanisms. And now recently they introduced the direct links, which basically skips that process. And when you advertise excuse me, when you advertise on Pinterest, they will skip that close-up and they will just directly go to the website. Repin is when you save it to your board, and long click is what's interesting in this article. And actually, this is the only place that I have found Pinterest talking about long clicks, and it got me very intrigued. So this is like very complicated stuff to read. Like I read it like 5 times, but What you need to understand in a nutshell is that they're looking for 30, 35 seconds that when someone clicks on a link and they go to the website, a long click is considered when the customer stays on the website for more than 30 seconds. So this is another metric that they use, and this is probably the main reason why they're using in-app browser, is because this way they can track everything. They know exactly what you're doing and how you're engaging with the content and with the external link, because you're not really going outside of the Pinterest app. You stay in the app, you're just using that in-app browser. And then when you close the browser, you go back to Pinterest. And they know, this way they know the whole journey. So they know exactly which one to rank. So now, of course, the question is, how do we use that information? And of course, it's simple, because you know that even when you're checking your own pins, you should never skip back fast and go back to Pinterest. You should always wait 35 seconds and more before that. Plus, we've talked many strategies in the past, how you can do this. And the information we're sending people from the direct links and the pin itself should be optimized for these long clicks. Basically, people should be engaged. So this is why a lot of the pins that are performing well are these vertical formats where you have a lot of information that you have to zoom in so that you can read this stuff. So these are like lists. For example, the 7 important things that you need to know about product name or niche, or beauty tips and whatever stuff that required a little bit of reading in the first place on the close-up. And then, of course, where you're sending them, it should always keep them interested as well. Is it an article that you have written and it has engaging content? You decide. But when you have this in mind, it will change your strategy on how you design the pins themselves and how and where exactly do you send the traffic. All right. If you want to read the whole thing, this is the link on Medium. It's in their Pinterest engineering, multitask learning, and calibration for utility-based home feed ranking. All right. So we're going to just look for a few trends and some interesting apps, and then we're going to conclude this session. And then I'll see you in a few weeks. So this is from Creative Space, Creative Market. If you want to go look at it, it's in their trend session. It talks about the human touch and how they basically say in 2024, because of all of the AI that is coming up, the human touch will get more popular. And it's an interesting insight, of course. You can also see the graphic design trends for 2024 if you go to Creative Market Pulse and see all the different trends. This one here is the first one. If you wanted to look at it, it's called the human touch, and all the other elements, all the other categories, I mean. And an interesting app that I found is from Google. It's called Looker Studio, and it's basically like a dashboard where you can connect all kinds of data and see them in a more visual way. So this one, for example, is connected to Google Search Console, They have a lot of templates, like ready templates that you can connect, for example, to Google Analytics. You can upload Amazon reports, all kinds of spreadsheets, well, you name it, whatever data you need to upload, you can. It could be very simple, and it could be also very simple, and it could be very complicated insight. But I suspect for us, the most useful thing is to create this visual report so we can see graphs, stuff like that from Google advertising, maybe from PPC reports on Amazon, maybe brand analytics and stuff like that. And of course, from Google, and it's free, so it's totally cool. Check that. So give it a try, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.